Good evening, and I welcome you, students. Whatever we are doing, important question answer sessions are going on for different competition exams, which the students will be appearing for the coming admissions, which they want in different colleges or different medical college or IIT or G or in some reputed colleges or whatever system will be there. They will have to study. Without studies, nothing will happen. It's very clear. So we must prepare ourselves to the best so that we can give good performance everywhere. Before I begin my session, there is a healing meditation which will be done by us. Healing meditation. What is healing meditation, students? That we will heal ourselves. We will heal ourselves. You can see that you have a body. You have a body. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
And you have a mind. You have heart. You have lungs. As you go down, there are trillions of cells which are inside your body, and these cells are stressed. You know why they are stressed? Why the cells are stressed? Inside the body, because you are overworking. You are overworking. The whole day you are working, and then a lot of stress is there, tension is there, and whatever food you are eating, whatever drinks you are taking, there are a lot of toxins in them. Do we have toxins or not? Whatever we are doing.
Yes,
Even
sir.
the air which we are inhaling may not be very pure. So all these things are there. A whole day, what is happening? The mind is using and adding, you see, negative energy, negative thoughts. So how do we relieve them? What we will do in this is a very simple technique which we will do. We'll sit very comfortably on a chair with your feet are on the ground and these two hands are very relaxed. वो आप अपने दोनों जो टांगे हैं उसके ऊपर बहुत आराम से रखिए, सीधी सी ये, और हम अपनी आंखें बंद करके what we focus is on the inhaling from the two nostrils, and we will experience a very bright light entering into our system, which will heal us from mind to the feet. So I will be doing this meditation with you. So what will we do? Relax yourself. Relax. Sit comfortably. Sit comfortably on a chair. Spinal cord, keep your spinal cord erect. What happens is while we are studying or teaching, what is happening? Your spinal cord is bending. That spinal cord is very, very important for the human body. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
The spinal cord should be very healthy, very active, very flexible. Should not bend because it will lead to a lot of pains and other difficulties. So we will be very, very comfortable. We will close our eyes, and before I do that, take deep three deep breath. Deep breathe in and out we will do before we begin. Inhale, exhale. Another deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Another deep breath. Inhale. Fill your stomach with air, with oxygen. Fill your lungs with air and oxygen. Fill the whole body with air and oxygen. Now exhale. Now you will close your eyes. Close your eyes and you will focus and concentrate on the breath, on the two nostrils from where the oxygen is coming. Close your eyes. Okay, closed?
Yes, sir.
Keep deep breathing in out breathing. And now you will experience that a very bright yellow color light, very bright yellow color light, which is shaped like a ball, is entering your brain. The yellow color light is entering your brain. Imagine and visualize the ball of yellow color light. Now this is healing all parts of the brain and traveling slowly and slowly towards your mouth, face. Now this healing light, yellow ball is coming to your neck. Whatever tension is there on the neck, inside the neck is being healed by the yellow ball. Now the yellow ball is coming to the chest. It is entering to your lungs and healing the lungs which have got oxygen. Further, it is traveling to your stomach. The ball is yellow in color. It is healing you over inside of the body. Now it has reached your digestive system, and whatever metabolism chemical reactions are taking place, the ball is healing your digestive system. Now it is traveling to both of your hands and your muscles. It is healing your muscles, hands, fingers. Now it is moving to the lower part of your body. It is inside your legs. The healing ball is entering to your legs, to your thighs, and slowly it is relieving you of all the pains, all the tension, whatever stress is there, wherever discomfort is there, take your attention there, and this yellow color ball will heal the tension points of your body. Now it's entering to your feet. Any tension you experience in your feet and your fingers of the feet, it is now removing all that tension and all the negative energy it is putting inside it, and now it is leaving your body. So the yellow ball has already taken all your negative energies, tensions, stresses from all parts of the body, and it's leaving, and now it is gone back in the sky, and now it's going to the sun from where it came, and our body is now relaxed. We are feeling very happy that our body has been healed. Slowly and slowly you start your normal breathing. Hold your hand and pay gratitude and thank you universe, thank you God for healing me of all the problems which I am facing, and I now have no difficulties, no problems, and I am prepared to face any exam, any test in my life comfortably, and I am very confident that I will succeed. Say your gratitude to the God, rub your hands, and that healing energy you put on your eyes, on your face, gentle massage, gently massage your eyes, eyebrows, face, neck, ears, head, and the stress is out. Whenever you feel comfortable, open your eyes with smiles. So we are healed and we are confident of success wherever we will go in our life. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's so good of you. That we are back and we can succeed in all our exams, whatever they may be. No problem for us. All right, so we'll begin our amazing sessions, which we are already doing. We are ready for solving questions, for competitions, for exams. with the blessings of the God and the universe, which is helping us every moment, every second. Okay. All right, students, we are having very important topic today, and our question answer session is going to come on very important topic is their coordination compound. This is a very important topic, coordination compounds. In exam, students, large number of questions are asked from this chapter. When you know already that the discovery of the coordination compounds, who is the father of the coordination compound, students? Discovery, what theory you know about it? Who is the father of the coordination chemistry, coordination compounds? You are aware of Werner's coordination
Werner.
theory? Werner's coordination theory. What is Werner's coordination theory, students? What he said, what he observed while he was doing an experiment. What is the most important points about Werner's coordination theory? What he said, that there are two types.
Two types of valencies in a
Okay,
coordination compound, primary valency and secondary valency.
two types of linkages. You are saying primary. What is the difference between primary and secondary valency, students?
Primary valencies are ionizable
Hmm.
and secondary valencies are non-ionizable.
Okay. What experiments were done by Werner in order to um, prove his results about the coordination compounds? What he did? These are the postulates which he gave on the basis of what observations were made by him, what experiments were done.
He reacted
What he has,
cobalt chloride with ammonia and then with
you are aware of the experiments which were done by that at that time, whatever things he had, what he was doing, he was doing the precipitation of these ions of chloride by silver nitrate to how many moles of AgCl were produced, and also was using conductivity measurements, that how many ions are produced. Based on that, so he has prepared cobalt 3 chloride ammonia complexes, and he got different colored compounds, and on that basis he proposed his postulates that there are two types of valencies. In an ordinary compound you have one type of valency, and here there are two types of valencies. And then what is the difference between a double salt and a complex compound?
double salt and a complex compound. Uh, Double salts can dissociate completely into their ions, but complex compounds do not dissociate completely.
It will not dissociate completely. Therefore we talked of ligands. What are ligands, students?
Uh, these are the molecules to which the central metal atom is bound
What
in
are,
a coordination and type.
okay, what is an ambident ligand?
Ambidentate ligand was uh, these are those ligands which have two different donor atoms and either of which uh, can attach to the complex.
What are chelate? What are chelate ligands or chelate coordination compounds?
Uh, Chelate, these are those which form cyclic rings.
They can form cyclic rings. There are donor atoms, at least more than one donor atom will be there. So what will happen? They will form rings, and the chelate compounds are highly stable. You know, their stability is very high. What is coordination number?
Uh, Coordination number is they are the number of ligands the donor atom is attached to.
Attached to. Okay. What is the difference between homoleptic and heteroleptic complexes?
In homoleptic, the central metal atom is bound to only one kind of donor atoms, and in heteroleptic, more than one type.
Heteroleptic complexes. All right. We have told you there is a IUPAC system for naming these coordination compounds. So that can be looked up in the NCERT book. They have shown you how do we name these compounds and how do we write the molecular formula of these compounds whenever they are there. All this we have explained. These are the rules which we must learn because there will be a question on that in the paper. What type of isomerism is shown by the coordination compounds? If I talk of the structural isomers, what is the linkage isomerism?
Um, in in linkage isomerism, occurs in a coordination compound which has an ambidentate ligand.
If there will be ambident ligand, then it can bond through either of the two atoms. Then this will give rise to what type of linkage isomerism. This is a revision of the, because after a long time we are revising it. So we should know that what type of questions will be there based on all this. So what is coordination isomerism?
In which there is an interchange of ligands between the anionic and the cationic uh, entities.
Coordination isomerism will be there in the paper. Ionization isomerism means what?
Ionization isomerism.
The name itself is explaining on ionization what will happen. Different ions will be produced, different ions. So that means when the counter ion can become a ligand, this type of isomerism will arise. Different ions will be produced and then precipitation can be done to distinguish what is a solvent or hydrate isomers are there.
Um, in this, water is involved as a solvent.
Or it can become a ligand. It can become a ligand. Then students, we have stereoisomerism. We have discussed about geometrical isomerism, which we talked of cis and
Cis and
trans.
trans.
We also discussed FAC and MER. That was very important. FAC and MER type of isomerism. And then we have also discussed optical isomerism. Optical isomerism. There will be questions based on this, which we will see what type of questions are coming and which compound will show cis trans or PAC and isomerism. Then we have discussed students certain theories bonding in coordination compounds where the valence bond theory has been used, VBT theory. What was the purpose of this? So what is it used to find out the hybridization? What type of hybridization theory is there to explain the nature of bonding and whatever orbitals are involved, n minus 1d, ns, np, nd. Hybridization can be used and this can give us the what type of geometry is there, and also it can predict whether it will be paramagnetic or diamagnetic, low spin or high spin complexes. We have also discussed the magnetic properties. depending on the number of unpaired electrons which are present. Then we have discussed that the coordination compounds are colored. What theory was used for this, students? You already know. Crystal field theory, which involved the splitting of the d orbitals, and we also discussed spectrochemical series. What is a spectrochemical series? The strong field and weak field ligands we have shown you, which can cause stronger and more splitting, which can cause lesser splitting, and what happens when, what type of configurations we can write for them. And also we could predict the color of the coordination compound by using CFT. Color of the coordination compound is very important. Color of coordination compounds. And we discussed the applications and uses of coordination compounds. All these part, very important part of this coordination compounds we have discussed. Therefore, students, this is a very important topic that we know that a lot of questions are going to be there from this topic. Let us see, questions are coming on the screen now. What is the first question coming? When 0.1 mole of Cl3 NH3 is combined with excess AgNO3, then 0.2 mole of AgCl is obtained. The conductivity of the solution suits. Now, what is the answer for this? You have COCl3 NH35. How much? 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole is giving 0.2 mole of AgCl. So what type of electrolyte is this, students? Conductivity measurements were done by, already told you who was doing the conductivity measurement.
It was 1:2 D.
How do we say that? CO, how many moles of 0.2 mole? One is giving 0.2 mole of Cl. That means how many Cl2 are outside? What is the formula of this?
Two are outside.
2 are outside. Then how many are inside?
Only one.
Then what will be the formula of this? 2Cl minus CO and H3 Cl. 2 plus 2 plus. So this is one ion, this is 2 ions. Total ion 1:2.
Yes, sir.
So this will give 0.2 mole of AgCl. 1:2. Electrolyte. Okay. The theory which has been given, Werner's theory, he actually made these measurements. NCERT book has given a table also on the conductivity measurements. The conductivity measurements are used for infinite dilution. So that gives us how many ions are there. According to that, we get the conductivity values. Question number 2. A chelating agent has 2 or more than 2 donor atoms to bind a single metal ion. Which of the following is not a chelating agent? Which of the following is not a chelating agent?
It will be oxalato, glycinato, thiosulfato.
Thiosulfato. Oxalato, you already know. Ethane 1,2-diamine, is having 2. Glycinato, glycinic acid. They are having chelating agents. Chelate. It is a chelating ligand. Chelating ligand, and the correct answer is thiosulfato. H2O3 2 minus thiosulfato. All right. Question number 3. The IUPAC name of how do we give IUPAC name? What are the rules which we have to revise the rules of IUPAC names, rules for IUPAC names. What are the ligands here?
Amine,
Amine,
chlorido,
amine is there. Cl is
chlorido,
chlorido.
nitrito.
This is NO2. What do we call as?
Nitrito N.
Because a nitrogen is attached to platinum.
Yes, sir.
Nitrito N. What is the oxidation number of platinum here?
2.
Cl minus 1, NO2 minus 1. If platinum is X, then X2 into 0, fluorine minus 1 into 1, minus 1 into 1. How much it becomes? X is equal to plus 2. Okay, then what is the correct answer?
C.
First, what I will write alphabetically: A, then C, then
C,
N.
then N.
How many? This is how many are 2?
2.
Okay, then this becomes di. This is 1. Okay, which is the correct answer then? A, B, C,
C.
D. All right, C. So one question on name is always given. Very important. We should learn to do the naming of these compounds. Very, very important. Next question is on the screen. In the complex EN2C2O4 NO2, where En is ethylene, are the coordination number and oxidation of the element respectively. Coordination number and oxidation state and oxidation state. Coordination number and oxidation state.
Three. D.
C. What
D,
is the
D. D
huh?
option. D option.
What is the coordination number first? How will we calculate? En, one En is how much?
1 En will give 2.
2 donor atoms. You have 2. How
So
many?
4.
4 donor atoms. And oxalato? How many? 1 oxalato. 2.
2. So 6.
6. Coordination number 6.
Yes, sir.
And how do you find the oxidation state? X. What is the En? What type of ligand is this? An ionic ligand or neutral ligand, or what type of ligand is this?
En is an neutral ligand.
Neutral. 2 into 0. What about oxalato?
It is anionic.
Anionic, how much charge is there?
2 minus.
1 minus 2. And what is NO2?
Minus 1.
Equal to 0. Then what is X? Plus 3. Which is the correct answer?
E.
6 and 3. Therefore, we have to calculate the answers before we answer any question.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next question is coming. The sum of the coordination number and oxidation number of the metal M in the complex is Coordination number and oxidation number of the metal in the coordination number is
N. C.
what is the correct answer coming here?
It should be 6 and 9.
What is the coordination number here? Ethylene diamine 2.
2.
How much?
Total 4.
And oxalato
2.
2. 6.
6.
Coordination number 6. And oxidation number
3.
3. This is plus, this is minus 1. Oxidation number. That oxidation number M plus 3. Total 9. Okay. 9 is the correct answer. Next question is coming on the screen. Some salts containing two different metallic elements. Give test for only one of them in solution. Containing two different metallic elements, containing two different metallic ions. Give test for only one of them in solution. Such salts are double salts, normal salts,
It is complex salts. C.
complex salts. Because if it is a double salt, then what will happen? It will give the test of all the ions. Normal
Yes.
will give the test of the ion because it contains two different metallic elements. So it is not a normal salt. But complex salt, yes, this will be a complex salt because there are mention of two different metallic elements. Okay. An example of sigma bonded organometallic compound is sigma bonded organometallic compound.
RMG Grignard reagent.
Sigma bonded. What happens in Grignard reagent? RMgX. This is organometallic compound.
Yes, sir.
Sigma bonded. Ferrocene, quartane, resonocene, Grignard reagent. It is a sigma bonded. Okay. Correct. This is the correct answer. Sigma bonded Grignard reagent. Next question. Iron carbonyl. Iron carbonyl is tetranuclear, mononuclear, dinuclear, trinuclear. You know, carbonyls are very important. Metal carbonyls questions are always asked because of the properties which we have told you. Metal carbon.
It is mononuclear.
Why it is mononuclear?
This is because in this one metal atom Fe is surrounded by 5.
Only one metal is there.
Yes, sir.
There are others you have seen like which are having more than one metal. Carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl compounds in the, you will see in the NCERT book there is a complete metal carbonyls. Metal carbonyls have been discussed. Metal carbonyls have been discussed in the NCERT book where there is more than one. For example, Mn2 NCO, you have seen complex of manganese and carbonyl, Mn2CO10. Okay, this is the correct answer. The type of isomerism shown by the complex is What type of coordination will be shown by this? Geometrical coordination, linkage, ionization, isomerism.
It will be geometrical isomerism.
What type of geometry it has? Cobalt. What is the coordination number here? What is the coordination number?
Coordination number will be 6.
6. So if I put it like this, students. Now that's 2 CLR. You can see trans to each other. And if I put EN, what happens here? So what type of isomerism is this?
Geometrical.
Which one is this? Geometrical isomers. What type of geometrical isomers?
This will
Which is cis, which is trans? What geometrical isomer you have? You have cis and trans only two.
cis and trans. Here, the first one will be trans and the second one will be cis.
Opposite, when the same group are 180 degrees, you can see this is trans and this is cis. They are 90 degree. Same groups are not 90 degree. You can put them anywhere, makes no difference. Which of the following elements do not form complex with EDTA? EDTA, students.
Mixture structure. Would be C.
Beryllium, no. That is the correct answer. Another question is coming on the screen. K2FeCl6 is an example of double salt, complex salt, acid or base.
It is a complex salt.
Is a complex salt. Which of the following has tetrahedral geometry? Which of the following has tetrahedral geometry? Now you have to find the hybridization before that.
Yes, sir.
Hybridization has to be obtained. What is the atomic number of nickel?
Nickel here. Nickel is 28.
Then what is the configuration?
3D S4S2. 3D8 4S.
And what is nickel 2 plus?
3D8.
D count is 3D8.
Yes, sir.
Then what happens? 3D8. There are two compounds, CN4 and Cl4. What type of ligands are these? One is CN4 minus and what is Cl minus? If I say what is 3D8? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes, sir.
What is going to happen in the case of you have 3D, you have 4s, you have 4p, 4p. Now, if I have Cn minus and Cl, what is the difference between these two?
Cn is a strong field ligand and Cl minus is a weak field ligand.
We know the carbon, usually we already have a clue. Carbon, they are strong field ligand. Cl minus is a weak field ligand. What the strong field ligand will do?
It will pair up the electrons.
It will pair off the electron. If it pairs up, then what will be the hybridization?
It will pair up DsP2.
And if it doesn't pair up, then what is the hybridization?
If it doesn't pair up, then it will be sp3.
sp3. Because they are not paired up sp3. So in which case it is happening? Which complex is this then?
It will be a square planar.
Which will be square planar?
A1 NiCN will be
That is, he wants tetrahedral geometry. Which
tetrahedral will be NiCl4.
this
D.
one, because this is a weak field, then this will be tetrahedral. Then the correct answer will be D. So we have clues every time. You know, whatever we are doing, we know this information should be there. Then only we can predict the hybridization. So we know which ligands are strong. Usually carbon, wherever there will be carbon, they will be strong. I think oxygen also, they are strong field. Halogens are all weak field. We know about it. Halogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, they are weak field. Chlorine, bromine, I minus. These are halogens. They are in the category of weak fields. Carbon, wherever carbon is forming the bond with carbon is coming, Cn. So they are strong field ligand. Even I think oxygen, oxalato and all that. So we have already some information with a strong and weak field. Otherwise, you have spectrochemical series which have been given in the book. Since sometimes we cannot remember the entire spectrochemical series. What do you find? These carbon and nitrogen compounds also you will see CN type, CO type. So what do you find? CO, CN, CO, CN. This is a very strong field ligand, and then you have EN and NH3 type. They are strong field ligands. And halogens which you are having I minus, F minus, Cl, Br minus, S2 minus, they are in the weak field side. Water is in between. Some information should be there. For example, so you can read more about it. Already spectrochemical series have been given. Try to study it. Next question is coming. Question: the number of possible isomers for the complex. How many isomers can be made from this complex? What type of isomers can be made?
There will be 3 isomers which are possible.
3 isomers. Number of possible isomers. What type of complex is this?
It will form cis and trans isomers.
Cis and trans isomers. Cobalt, oxalato, NH3, NH3. Other one you write. NH3, NH3, oxalato. This is cis. This is a
Yes.
trans. This has a plane of symmetry. Optically inactive.
Yes.
What will happen to this? This can have a mirror image.
Yes, sir.
What will happen to that mirror image?
D and L form it will have.
D and L form. Okay. So how many will become? 3. All right. Next question is coming on the screen. Oxidation state of nickel in NiCO4 is?
It should be 0.
There is no 0 wrong answer. Because CO4 is neutral.
There should be 1 0.
There's some mistake in the question. CO is 0 oxidation state neutral, so nickel is 0. It should be 0. Okay. Answer and question has been wrongly written. According to Werner's theory of coordination compound, according to Werner's theory of coordination, primary valence ion is ionizable. Secondary valency is ionizable. Primary secondary valencies are ionizable. Neither primary nor secondary is ionizable. What could be the correct answer for this?
According to Werner's theory, the primary valency is ionizable. A.
Postulates of Werner. A is the correct answer. Next question. Ammonia acts as a very good ligand, but ammonium ion does not form complexes because what could be the correct answer for this?
The gas was it should be C.
Ammonium does not have any lone pair of electron. Yes, we know about it. NH3 has a lone pair of electron. And when I form NH4 plus, there is no lone pair of electron. C is the correct answer. The ligand NH2 what happens here? NCH2 NH2. The ligand NH2CH2. 3. This should be 3 because it will not be balanced otherwise. What will be the denticity of the ligand?
This CH2 H2 it is tetradentate C.
3 and 1/4. Okay. Which of the following is a tridentate ligand? This question is
It is di-N C.
what it means. Di-N. What is di-N?
Uh,
This is not
it is diethylene triamine.
wrong. Question is wrong.
Yes, so there is something sync
Question.
here.
This is a wrong question. Something is missing. Among the following, which are ambident ligands? Which are ambident ligand? Ambident ligand is always a favorite question in the paper. Ambident ligands.
I see. A option.
Thiocyanate is ambident. No, this is ambident.
Yes, sir.
Right. First and third.
A.
This is the correct answer. Which of the following can form a chelate? Which can form the ring type of structure, students?
It is oxalate.
Oxalato.
Oxalate.
Oxalato. This can form ring type of structures. It is a chelating agent. These are the correct answer. All right, students. Then these are some of the questions from coordination compounds. We will continue more in the next lectures. We will see what more questions are coming. All right, my best wishes to all of you, and then keep on sharing our videos with your friends and students so that they can get some knowledge and they can also write some exams which they have to give for admissions. And we'll see you in the next class.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.